Well, we're glad you joined us today. Our guest on this segment is Jeff Marlow, the Executive Chef with the Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma. Jeff, good to have you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
First time you and I have had a chance to talk.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here.
Numbers are not good, are they?
They're not. You know, what Oklahoma and as a state and a whole with food insecurity, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, especially the kids.
Absolutely.
I want to say something right off the top because I want to brag on the food bank.
Okay.
I give you $1. How many people can you feed?
4 people.
4 people from $1.
Yes, sir.
What's the demand like for food at the food bank?
Ooh, our food bank right now, we average around 600,000 meals a week that we serve, and that's a lot of people. We cover 26 counties across the state of Oklahoma, and even though we're doing so much, there's always more that we could do, and we're kind of at our capacity with our facilities, but we are in the process of growing, so we can do more.
Now, you don't actually feed people at the food bank.
No, sir. No, sir.
It's more of a warehouse.
So, yeah, I like to describe it kind of like a Sam's warehouse, or if you're in the food business, Benny Keith Foods. You know, somebody like that. That's a for-profit distributor. We're a non-profit food distributor, so we've got around 500 partner agencies that we distribute food to, and those are like our small little restaurants, and that's where the people in need go and get their meals. And you know, from dry goods where they can go home and prepare meals, or they go and they get a hot meal served to them. So we partner with all the agencies in Oklahoma and provide them the assistance they need to fight hunger.
And you also have, what, 2 trucks that go out?
We have that, so we do that at the food bank. We have 2 mobile food trucks, and we take the perishable food items that we get donated from Walmart, Sam's, Whole Foods, Reese's, Sprouts, you name it, all the local grocers. The food's past the sell-by date, but it's not past the use-by date. We take that food that we get donated to us, and we turn it into a really healthy, nutritious, and really gourmet meal that we take our food trucks out daily, and we feed a completely free meal. We like to go to areas that are known as food deserts. The transportation is the local transportation is not met out there, and we'll go out there and we'll set up, and we try to go to a location 6 weeks in a row. That way, our clients in that area get the word out, and they get used to us. So, you know, the first time we're there, we'll do a good crowd, but the next time we're there, they're waiting on us and they're lined up, and that's what we're doing with those mobile trucks. It's really, really cool.
I have made the tour a couple of times of the food bank, and I have to tell you, you will not believe it until you see it firsthand. And I would encourage, you know, if you get with folks in your church or synagogue or civic club and book a tour. Go out and see what these folks are doing with nothing but your support to back them up, and see how they are giving food to those that need it most.
Yes,
you
sir.
guys do, it's miraculous what you're pulling off out there.
It is, and the only way that we're able to do it, Sam, is with our awesome volunteers. We're close to 70 full-time paid employees on our staff, but we have hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that come through, probably over 1,000 that come through there weekly that help us fight hunger. And without our volunteers, there's no way we could do that.
Last time I was out there, I had the opportunity to go through some trailers you've got.
Yes,
where
sir.
you're absolutely growing things.
Yep.
Kind of a mobile food growing factory, if you will. Fresh stuff right out of the dirt, you know.
Absolutely. So I'd heard you mention earlier that one of the problems we have is fresh produce here in Oklahoma, and so that was one of the innovative things that we tried to do to where we can grow our own produce there in at the food bank, to where we have it annually, because we hit seasons that you know, when the crops aren't being grown, that's when the prices rise for us that go and buy at retail, and that's when the quality is the lowest. So we don't see as much coming in, and being nonprofit, you know, we just don't have a lot of money to go out and purchase all of it. So we're trying to find those ways to be able to supplement fresh produce to our people in need, because even though the canned items are very, very important, I don't want to discredit those at all, it's also very important that we give nutrition to our Oklahomans in need.
And especially the children.
Absolutely.
One of the most amazing things to me was to learn that the folk who need you the most really come from all walks of life.
Yes.
And you see a number of veterans families. You see a number of active military families. You see folks teaching.
Yep.
You see someone who suddenly is thrown into, well, the workman or work person of the family can no
Loses their
longer
job,
work.
provide.
They've lost a job, and somebody's got to step in, and there you guys are. And you see those faces, you hear the
Absolutely.
stories, don't
Yes,
you?
sir. Yes, sir. It could be any of us. It could be me. You know, my wife, we have 3 children, and my wife, she works, but she's not the, I don't like using this term, but the breadwinner, the sole provider of our household. And so if something was to happen to me, you know, I could see us being in that situation. Luckily, we have a great family and a great support system behind us, but not everybody has that. And so where do they get that? And that's where the food bank, we are the family. We are the family for the people that do need that support and that don't have it. Because there are, you know, children that can't do anything about hunger. There's seniors that worked and they did the right thing their whole life, but maybe they didn't plan for retirement the way they should have.
Yeah, it's either medication or food.
Absolutely. And so why do we there's so much waste in our nation. And I honestly believe that we can end hunger. I really do. I don't think we'll ever be able to end the assistance for hunger. I think that we'll always need to provide assistance because of those situations, children and seniors and people that have disabilities, medical disabilities. There's
Sure.
all different kinds of things, but I feel like that there's enough waste and there's enough resources and enough will that we can end hunger. We shouldn't have hunger in our great nation,
No, we
especially in our
shouldn't.
great state.
You know, I think we need to pause right here just a moment
Okay.
and kind of focus on your role
Yes, sir.
as the executive chef. What do you do? Do you cook or put together? What happens?
We do a lot of things. I touched a little bit on our food trucks. We also do a summer feeding program during the summertime. You know, the reality is that you said 1 in 4 children go to bed hungry. We know that. So during the summer, when they're not getting that meal at school, because the reality is that could be the only meal that they're getting.
Sure. What
What are they doing during the summer? So we run this summer feeding program, and every year since I've been there and we started, we keep doubling. We jumped 117% of what we served last summer.
Say that again.
117% growth this summer, and we'll probably do that again next summer. As we grow, we had 74 sites that we provided a fresh meal every day for kids to be able to go to.
You plan these meals, you put them
plan
together,
them.
you cook them.
Yes, I've got an awesome team. It's not me that's doing it, but I do have an awesome team that helps me. We plan the meals, write the menus. We have to follow a certain nutritional guideline because it's a government program, and it's awesome. I love going out there and seeing the smiles on the kids' faces and the appreciation from the parents that are bringing the kids up there to get that meal during the summertime.
Breaks your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes it does.
And it never ends. I don't know how one volunteers on a regular basis and is able to go home at night. I mean, it's got to be a terrible strain on you and everybody else out there because you see up close and personal what the people are going through.
I do. It's tough, from coming from a for-profit. For 16 years, I worked in country clubs, private country clubs. The last place I was at was the Oaks Country Club. And so from serving people that were very, very fortunate to going to serving people that aren't fortunate at all, I feel like I was blessed with this gift of being able to work with my hands and provide, and the heart to want to serve my community and help the people in need. And that's what gives us, it makes me feel really good. At the end of the day, I love being a chef, But at the end of the day, I mean, I really love what I'm doing with my talents of serving the people in need. And I can tell you that's the same attitude that every employee at the food bank has. It's just very, you want to do more.
Well, you know, there's a special place in heaven for people like you and the folks at the food bank.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for taking time to come out and enlighten us a bit, share some things with you. We will have you back.
Thank you,
we
sir.
will continue
I'd
to
be
do
glad
what
to
we
come back.
can to support the food bank.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. And remember, $1 feeds 4. $1 feeds 4 through the food bank. Keep that in mind, all right? Coming up, looking for the best at the Will Rogers Museum. We'll have more right after this.